Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Courtney. Before we jump into this review video, I want to remind you to click that little subscribe button down below so you never miss a thing. So today I'm going to be giving you my official review of the Huda Beauty FauxFilter foundation. As you know, I did a first impressions video last week. I've worn this foundation every single day since that video because I was testing it out to see if it would cause me to break out. I'm happy to report I haven't broken out despite the strong fragrance. So after testing it out for so long, I feel comfortable giving you my review. I did do another wear test with this foundation and it seems pretty clear to me that this will last at least 12 hours, if not longer for me. I really like that. Something really important that I wanted to share with you. My friend Sin was looking up information on the Huda Beauty foundation and she found this little guide to their undertones. You probably already could guess that the R is for red, N is for neutral, and G is for yellow. But did you know that the B beige is for blue undertones? Because I had no idea. So the shade here, 100 Milkshake, matches me perfectly. I can put it on my neck and my chest. It will blend in seamlessly. You won't be able to see where the foundation starts and where my skin ends. I love that. So I was very surprised to see this is supposed to be blue undertones. I had almost assumed that this was more like a neutral or neutral slightly cool yellow. So I thought that was really interesting to learn. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you what I do love about this foundation. The number one thing that I love about the Huda Beauty FauxFilter foundation in the shade Milkshake is that I don't have to add white to it. That is so nice. Can I get a hallelujah? Seriously though, it is so nice to be able to just to put on a foundation and not have to add white to it and have it be a perfect match for my skin tone. And I don't have to worry about if I add too much white looking little, I don't have to worry that if I add too much white, I'm gonna look ghostly. If I don't add enough white, I'm gonna have like a darker head than my neck and my chest. So it's just nice to have something that works. It is fantastic. Number two, I love that I don't have to add setting powder to this foundation. I have a dry skin type, and so with the way this actually dries down, it's not tacky. I don't need to set it anywhere. If I want, I could set my T-zone or I could use a setting spray, but in general, unless I'm gonna be going out and I need it to last, 12 hours or longer, I'm not gonna set this foundation because I don't need to, and that is so nice because the other foundation that I have that matches my skin tone that I don't have to add white to, I do have to set if I want it to last. I do really like the coverage of this foundation. It's like medium full coverage. I typically prefer light to medium coverage, but I can shear this out with my beauty blender and get just the perfect amount of coverage, which is nice. I do love that it will last 10 or more hours on me, which is awesome because I'm looking for at least 10 hours of wear with any foundation that I try. I love the packaging. It's like this cute little solid square. It has a good pump. This size fits easily into any of my makeup bags, even my small makeup bags. So the price for this foundation is $40 for 1.18 ounces of product, which is, I guess, about average. Maybe it's a little high. I'll put a comparison with a bunch of numbers of different foundations up here so you can see. So let me go ahead and jump into what I don't like about this foundation. The number one thing that I hate about this foundation is the smell. The god-awful sweet floral smell. It smells like a grandma perfume or something. It just smells so bad, and that smell lingers. It lingers for at least an hour. So if you are somebody who is sensitive to fragrances, get a sample of this before you buy the full size because you may hate this. It may trigger a migraine. The smell is god-awful. I don't like that it will sometimes emphasize the fine lines around my eyes. I have found that if I shear it out just right and I add a little bit of my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, it's not as obvious, but if I'm not careful, it will emphasize fine lines, which I hate. I also don't like that it claims to give a faux filter effect. I have tried several different primers with this foundation, and the one that does give me the best results is the Milk Blur Stick, but I still don't feel like it is completely flawless, like I have an Instagram filter on or something. I do like how it looks. I do think it looks great, but I don't think it lives up to that claim. The last thing that I don't like is that it says that it has a radiant finish, and to me this is more of a matte finish. So if I want it to look radiant, I mix in something like Urban Decay's Liquid Aura or Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, just something to give it a little bit more of a sheen. I do like the fact that, as I mentioned, I do like that it dries down all the way, but I really wish that it was more radiant like it claims. So overall, I'm glad I bought this foundation. I'm not going to be returning it. This is probably going to be one of my go-to foundations. The other one that I currently go to is the Eden Minerals Yoran foundation. Those are the two that I have that I don't have to add white to that work well with my dry skin. So if you are somebody who has normal to dry skin, I would definitely check this out. It says it can work for oily skin, but since I don't have oily skin, I can't, tell you how it's going to work. I can tell you that the Huda Beauty website does say that if you have oily skin, you must set this foundation. So maybe it will work. It always kind of irks me whenever brands are like, it's going to work for all skin types, because really, what foundation works for all skin types? Tell me. I need to know. What is this miracle product? Anyway, I do love this stuff. I love the shade names. I thought it had a pretty good shade range to start with. It has like 30 shades. I do think that they need to expand some, but the names are cute. I like all the food names, and I love how it looks on me. Let me zoom in so you can see. We're gonna get uncomfortably close. I do feel like I look pretty flawless in it right now. So anyway, what do you think of the Huda Beauty FauxFilter Foundation? Please be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video and found it fun, entertaining, informative, or helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share. I love it when you share my videos. It makes my day. Thanks so much for watching.